Vlogging glasses on, we can start this episode. We have never done a Q&A session, so today is time for one. I'm not sure how interesting this is going to be with only about 200 daily views. It's not your room. Get off. This is not your Q&A session. I don't know how interesting this is going to be with only 200 daily views, but we're going to give it a shot. And partially, yes, it's because there are those days when you're simply stuck in front of the computer because you have so much work piled up. You just have to process. So we're not going anywhere today. There's nothing else happening. There's just a lot of work in front of the pewter. So this is our first ever Q&A session. Vlani is here.
Vlani?
First one is from Jerry. Thank you, Jerry. Were you not scared even a little bit of getting trapped down there? This is about our visit to the silver mine from a few episodes ago. Were you scared? Did this thought cross your mind when we were there?
It crossed my mind like 1% of a chance that something could happen because it's a touristy area, so I figure there's a lot of tourists going through, and if it was going to happen, what are the chances it's going to happen while we're there?
I did think about it, and I asked one of the guys, I don't remember which one at this point, but I asked them what are the chances of, another accident down here ever, and they said chances were high when the mine was in use, when they were mining new material. Ever since they stopped, basically there was no accident.
Why are you wearing sunglasses?
This is my new vlogging
Pink sunglasses?
image.
Oh, okay. But
So
they told us that if we heard the wood cracking to start running, so I figured...
they didn't say that.
They did. Didn't you hear that? They said those wooden beams...
That was a joke, right?
No. They use wood instead of metal because the wood you could hear cracking, and if you start hearing the wood cracking, it means the floor's gonna fall down. The ceiling's gonna fall down on your head.
Oh my god. Well, nothing happened. We're still here.
Until David comes along and makes the lady fall off the boat.
I didn't make her fall off the boat.
You almost did.
She propped herself against the wall and she was fine. Okay, so here's a more serious question. How do Blani's medical needs impact your newly married life and your work life? Well, they impact our work life a lot. No hiding that. I don't want to really expand on this at this point. Maybe we will summarize it sometime later. How do they impact our newly married life? Well, we didn't really have married life before Blani's diagnosis. So we have no point of reference here, but married life has been good.
Well, I was thinking about this question after she answered it, and I was thinking a lot of people get married and they have this honeymoon period of a wonderful year where they're like, oh my god, we just got married, and that's all they can focus on. But we got married knowing that the focus is on this cancer situation. So we didn't really have that newlywed period of knowing what marriage was like without that.
And we're basically going through it together since the beginning. I want to know how David edits drone footage, what picture mode does he shoot in, and what sort of stuff does he do in post. I try to apply cinematic processing in post, meaning going for the blues and colder tones in the shadows and warmer tones in the highlights, adding contrast.
Maybe she also wants to know what you edited on, though.
So I edit everything in Premiere Pro CC at this point. They have very good image processing. Previous versions did not have image processing that expanded. And I do shoot in flat settings. So basically, I actually don't remember what the mode is called. I think I can look it up, and by the time I edit this video, I'll include it here. But I like shooting in flat mode, so the flattest mode available, so that I can apply as much processing or as little processing as I want in post. If you could have a drink with anyone living or past, who would it be and what would you ask? Also, would you drink and where? Also, what would you drink and where would you like to meet them? And in this time period or theirs, if they're no longer with us.
I would have a drink with my brother in this time period so that he could see how my life has turned out. And what would I drink? That's inconsequential to me. I would drink water if it was all I had to drink. And what would I ask him? Well, God, if he's died, he's dead now, so I would ask him, what's it like over there? But mostly I wouldn't want to ask him anything. I would just want to talk about life now. What about you? Brad Garrett!
I think I would choose Clint Eastwood. Because he is one of the most amazing actors and directors. I am willing to even say he's more of an amazing director than actor, although I can't say that. He is one of the most amazing actors and directors at the same time.
Go ahead. Make my day.
And I would definitely have a few questions for him about storytelling, because I just admire him a lot.
And what would you drink and where would you like to meet them?
I would meet him at the set of The Westworld. One of my favorite movies is Unforgiven. That's why, probably. And for the drink, we would have to have whiskey, because what other drink could you have in a setting like this? What is your single most favorite photograph in the past year?
I can't pick from the assortment of wonderful wedding photos. One of those.
I'm gonna say the photo you took of Whisper the dog running in our backyard. I love the dog, and she's old, and that's just one of the best photos of her ever taken. She looks happy in it. What is one place, thing, person you would like to photograph anywhere or anyone?
I would love to go and do that tour of Europe in the summer when it's warmer, but especially Poland, all the little details and old things. I really like the old things. And that bridge in Germany.
So that's not really one, but we'll take that. Rice terraces in Vietnam. I've seen some photos of that place online. It looks amazing. It's one of my dream destinations. Would really love to go there and take some photos there. Question for David. Where do you get your vlog music? It rocks. Any royalty-free music. I have a few favorite websites like the Artist Union, SoundCloud. There's some stuff from Song Freedom. Those you have to pay for the licenses, so it's not really royalty free, but it's licensed, so it's also available. I always link to the artist that I use for every episode in the description below the video, but I feel like no one ever reads the descriptions, so but it's there. I do give them credit, and I encourage you guys to check it out. Question for Blondie. I love your images. What are your go-to settings if you can answer that on your camera with flash?
I always number one, I always make sure that the shutter speed is fast enough to not have blur, because I don't care if the ISO is high. I just want no blur because I can't fix blur and I don't mind grain. I try to have the aperture wide open, but not so wide open that people are going to be out of focus if there's movement or if there's more than a few people in the picture, and the ISO high enough so that the background isn't very, very black, so that you have some of the room light. And then the flash, I prefer to have one flash bouncing on camera and two flashes off camera, so that during toasts and other things where people aren't moving too much, I can turn flashes on and off and change different things in the room. And thank you very much for that sweet note.
Have you ever considered doing a workshop? We have, but everybody's doing workshops, and we're kind of wary to get on that bandwagon. Is that what you say?
I feel like we know stuff that a lot of other people know. If I did a workshop, it would have to be something that I felt we were very uniquely honed in on.
Predisposed to teach.
Yeah.
We did consider a connecting photography and drone photography workshop at some point, because there's a lot of stuff about drones that people are maybe not aware of, but simply they don't know that they have to pay attention to. This is partially, I'm going to plug in my book here, because this is partially what my book talks about. How to avoid disasters with the drones, how to avoid accidents, and how to follow the rules so that we can all still enjoy flying the drones and not be shut down completely by FAA.
But also you talked about doing a drone workshop because so many people are getting them now, and there is not really a lot of guidelines for people about how to do things, and I feel like there is a hole in that area, and you are very good at it. And the way you fly the drone even makes the footage better, and you can fly it very smoothly and with really interesting.
Thank you.
Well, that footage you showed me from Poland is amazing around that church.
This is great, but I have one question. Not everybody knows English. This should be translated into Polish because when there's Polish in an episode, you are providing translation into English. So this is kind of a tough question for me to answer. It's not physically possible for me to translate every episode and subtitle every episode back and forth between Polish and English. The vlog originally started here. It started in English. I would love to do a few more episodes in Polish, but because I don't want to discriminate any part of the audience at this point, I appreciate all my Polish audience and I love to vlog more for both audiences. So the answer to that is within the realm of possibility, I will do that as often as I can. It takes quadruple the amount of time to finish an episode as it does without subtitling it.
We have a question for you from your adoring vlog fans.
I don't have fans. I have Musically fans.
She says she doesn't have fans. You have fans.
I have Musically fans.
You have vlog fans too.
Brandy asks, I would also love to hear Sheridan's take on vlogging. What does she like about it and what does she dislike about it? Always fun to hear what kids think.
What do you think about vlogging? What do you like and what do you not like about it? So let's start with what do you not like?
That David's always bugging me to film me for some reason when I'm trying to do something that I want to do.
So what do you really like about it?
That we did that water gun fight.
That's the only thing you like about vlogging?
What do I need to say more?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this Q&A episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had some fun listening to our answers.
Thank you for asking us questions when we asked.
Thank you so much for giving us the questions because most of them were posted today when we asked about questions for this particular episode. So you guys really stepped up and gave us something to talk about, which is wonderful of you. Thank you so much. Maybe we can do another one of those soon. I kind of enjoyed it. Did you?
Was there another question?
No, that was it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night.
Good night. Do you know what I like about it?
What?
That there's all these videos of you growing up. So in 10 years you can look back and see yourself at 10 years old when you're 20 years old. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.